Welcome to Jerusalem, a paradise from God. A cordial greeting to all lovers of country life and friends of organic agriculture. In this opportunity, we're going to share what the Jerusalem farm is like. It's really a dream come true that God has allowed us to build. Welcome. God has given us the joy of living in the fields, working the land, and building our own very agriculture holding. In this video, we will share part of the experience that God in His goodness has allowed us to achieve. Life in the country is God's ideal for every family. Life in the country has made a difference in our lives, and it will surely also be making a difference in the lives of all those families that live in the country. Jerusalem is a very beautiful farm. It has a special topographic relief with virgin mountains. It has its own water, pastures, and also an area for cultivation with an incredible fertile land, very suitable for developing different crops. All I can say is Jerusalem is a very special farm. Jerusalem has a very privileged location. It's located in a rural sector 8 kilometers from the urban area with a good road to access it and transport goods. Jerusalem has its own water from the plentiful water springs in the middle of the mountain, which belong to this property. Here the water is 100% pure. It is crystal clear. It is clean. It's a mineralized water, excellent quality. Let's get to know it. Jerusalem has a very special forest reserve, or what we would normally call a mountain. In this mountain there are large trees. Also in a succession there are different varieties of palm trees. We also find ordinary and high quality wood. The mountain's beauty is quite the charm here in Jerusalem. You could say it's another wealth that the land has to offer to us. Jerusalem is located 800 meters above the sea level, thus having a very pleasant, warm, and benign climate all year round. This means we have the privilege to develop a great variety of agricultural products right here. In Jerusalem, God has allowed us to build a pantry and also plant more than 50 varieties of crops which are divided between fruit trees, fruit, cereals, oil seeds, legumes, tubers, and others. The pantry here in Jerusalem is a blessing. There is enough for personal consumption and also to share with friends and acquaintances. Here in the garden of Jerusalem, there are trees that are 14 years old, others that are 10, others that are 7 years old, and 3 in the case of the Rambutan, and they are always looking to grow and to improve and increase the crops here in Jerusalem with wisdom, with discipline, and with good advice. It's possible to develop a good project no matter where we establish ourselves. Well, with further ado, and with our boots on, let's take a tour in Jerusalem's different crops. Alright, let's start our journey right here, cutting a bunch of plantain down. We have different varieties. This one's called Heartland Plantain. It's organic and of a really good quality. This other variety is called Manzano Plantain, or in other words, Apple Plantain. Very exquisite, the type to be exported because of its richness and sweetness. We also have this other that is called Guineo Plantain, and it's usually eaten, cooked, or used in vegetable soup. It's worth so much including it in your project. Let's look at one more. This one's called Popocho Plantain, and it's very rich, so special, and it grows so easy. And it's wonderful to be able to have different varieties of plantains and products in your land. The greater the variety, the better the nutrition and the greater enjoyment you have. Let's see how much this bunch weighs. It weighs 24 kilos or 48 pounds of plantain in a single bundle. What a blessing it is to be able to live in the field and enjoy the fruits that the earth gave us. Now trust me when I tell you, the bananas that you eat from your farm are much more nutritious and richer in texture and sweeter than the bananas that you get from the supermarket that have to be taken down green, exported, and forced to ripen. So if you can, I encourage you to please plant bananas in your farm and let them rip in the plant. In Jerusalem, we also grow papaya. Here we have two varieties, one giant and one more modest, but both are excellent flavor and good quality. Life in the countryside is full of blessings. Here in Jerusalem, we also have the joy of having citrus fruits. Tangerines, oranges, lemons, among many others. Let's go harvest some of the Jerusalem's oranges. Living in the country is an extraordinary blessing. The country life is worth it, trust me. Among the varieties of oranges, there's this one called Tangelas. Not very popular, but it's personally one of my favorite. It's much juicier and sweeter than your normal orange. It's a blessing to be able to have Tangelas in your garden. It is something that is also worth having. You should have. Mandarin is another fruit that we have here in Jerusalem. It's a blessing to have mandarin trees. This is my favorite citrus fruit. You should definitely add it to your project. Trust me, this one you won't regret. Among the mandarins, we also have a common mandarin. This is a very sweet mandarin. It's very special. It's really easy to plant. It requires zero fertilization. It requires absolutely nothing. Just harvest and enjoy it. This is another mandarin. It's, as we call it, Israeli mandarin. It's also grown very well here in the farm. It has a thick skin, a very bright color. It's also sweet and very nutritious. It is also worth including it in our fruit trees. It's nice to be able to have alternatives of fruit trees and keep things fresh at the table. Search for different types of oranges, tangerines, limes, and you'll be impressed. Different fruit trees make life in the country more special, and you'll learn to love the land and see its big potential. The sweet lemon is another fruit that we have here on the property. It's very rich, it's very delicious, it's very soft fruit, and the best part of it is that it grows without any complications. We also have limes. We have two varieties, the common one and this one, which is Thai tea. But don't let it fool you, it packs a big punch, perfect for salads or juice. They grow easily, and with 1 or 2 trees, there is enough for an average family all year round. Among the sweet fruits we have sugar apple or anon. The anon is a very special fruit. Here we have a tree in production. This fruit is very rich. It's dense, it's sweet, very soft, and it's also easy to grow. Kids love it, and it's a must in your farm. This other fruit is called arasa. It's fluffy, sweet, and sour at the same time. Great for making juice. There's this breadfruit tree, which is a tree in development here in Jerusalem. Avocados cannot be absent. It's an essential in our diets and loved in every country. The avocado is a very special fruit. Here we have a very good specimen. Look at the great size of it. We have trees that are developing and others that are already in production. With only about 2 or 3 trees, really, there is enough for an average family. And it's a very, very special fruit to accompany all our meals, which is well worth including in our vegetable garden that we personally never miss. It is a joy to be able to sit at the table, eat and enjoy the products that we have planted, that we have harvested, that we have seen how by the goodness of God, how they develop. So keep in mind in your project to make space to plant avocados. You can plant different varieties of avocados. There's Hass, Papelillo, Choca, Roca. Well, there are avocados of different varieties according to taste, of different sizes, adapted to different climates. Also, common avocado. Well, it depends on the climate and your project in which you are going to plant. In Jerusalem, we also have boroho. This is an extraordinary, rare fruit really. It lasts about a year on the tree. Once it falls or ripes, it turns brown. Within 24 hours, it's ready to be consumed. It's a bold, bitter, sour fruit with excellent nutritional value, and if prepared correctly, it's something out of this world. Carambolo is also a variety in which we are developing, very special. Soursop, if you haven't tried it, find it. It's delicious. It's a sweet, meaty fruit. We have some trees here in development for the consumption of the family. 1 or 2 trees is more than enough, and as you can see, this tree is already beginning to produce. Guava is also produced in this farm. Here we have a tree in production. This tree gives out more than enough guavas. In fact, it gives out so many, we always have a surplus to share with those around us. The Mamey is another variety that we have here in Jerusalem. This is one of my favorites. This tree right here can give between 200 to 500 fruits per harvest. It's truly a blessing. Each fruit can weigh between around 500 to 2,000 milligrams. Mamey is another variety that we can include in our family garden project. Delicious. Passion fruit must be in your farm if you can have it. It's a great fruit for making juice. You only need 4 plants, which is enough for an average family. It's a very, very special plant with a rich, very bitter, but delicious taste. You should include it. Here in Jerusalem, we also have blackberries. Blackberries grow very well in here. There are blackberries for different climates. This is a blackberry that adapts well to this particular climate at 800 meters above the sea level. We have about 10 plants, and with these, there is more than enough for the family's consumption. It's a joy to be able to have organic blackberries, because blackberries are one of those products that receives more chemical sprays than others, and to make matters whereas the fruit is unprotected since it doesn't have a skin or it doesn't have a layer to protect it against the chemicals. It absorbs it, and all the chemical sprays are simply within the fruit, and it's not healthy. So we prefer to have healthy, clean blackberries, and if you have them, it's a wonderful thing. Kids love it. It's a healthy snack for them to have. Sapote is a very unknown fruit, but extremely delicious. The pineapple is also part of the products here in the garden. We have about 40 pineapple bushes. This is a variety that grows particularly well here in this climate. They're large, colorful, they have great size and very good taste, very sweet. Make sure to open a spot for pineapples in your farm. Believe it or not, we also have dragon fruits in here. It's so sweet, so delicious, good for your digestive system. Just don't overdo it, please. And other than that, just make sure you have a spot for it. Rambutan is one of those things that we also have here in Jerusalem. It's an exotic fruit. These are small plants that are in development, and it's worth having rambutan here in the farm and for you wherever you are. It's so delicious. The Mangosteen, also known as the Queen of Fruits, is another variety we have here in Jerusalem. These samplings are approximately 4 years old. They begin production when they're 7, and it's really one of those varieties that you should definitely have in your farm wherever you are. Jerusalem is like an Eden that God has allowed us to have. Another of those varieties that we have here is mango. We have Tomi mango, sugar mango, common mango, Kroyo mango. There are so many different varieties of mangoes. And here in Jerusalem, we have about 10 trees that are really too much. We have so much for consumption that we can share with other people. And it's a blessing to be able to till the land and reap their fruits. Well, in here in Jerusalem, we also have different varieties of tubers. We have about 8 kinds of tubers. We have Cassava, yellow Cassava, white Cassava. They're different varieties, very special. Cassavas grow very well in here with very good results. We have had also yuccas, which have even weighed 17 pounds each, and plants that yield more than 25 pounds. The Tabana is a tuber. It's also called nyampin in other areas, and it's a tuber that grows very well here in Jerusalem. And with about 5 plants, there is enough for an average family. The Tabana takes around 1 year to produce, and it grows relatively easy with low maintenance. The special characteristic of this tuber is that it can be stored for over 3 months. And it's very similar to the potato. You could very well substitute potatoes with tabanas. And you gotta say, tabana or nyampin is a very special root. Here we uprooted a plant, and we're going to weigh it and see how many kilos this Tabana plant has given us. Look at that! 22 kilos of Tabana, 44 pounds from a single plant. So let's grow more Tabanas. Rakata is also grown here in Jerusalem, and even though it's a warm climate, it means they don't develop so large, but they grow extremely well here. This is a purple Rakata. It was planted a while ago, and it's also a tuber that we can include in the list of tubers that we can develop in our own farms. These products don't require any type of chemicals. They don't require further fertilization. These products are given very easily to you naturally. It's a delight and it's a beauty in color. These are the seeds to make new Rakata plantations. Hopefully they never lack in your farm. The chunk is a very special tuber. It grows very well in these lands. It's a tuber of my favorites. And when harvesting, we must clean the surroundings properly, dig, and then very gently and patiently pull the plant out. Then it detaches the turnips, and there you go. You got chunk is ready for you. This tuber is very sandy, of a very good consistency, very rich in flavor. This is the seed from here. It's reproduced. You can sow it completely, or you can cut it into pieces and plant them in so that you can have many more plants. We also have chili peppers to add some spice to our lives. Sugarcane can't be absent in your farm in order to add a little bit of sweetness to the life. This is a very special species, variety. It's very soft to consume, also to grind, or make any type of sweets that we want, and just sometimes eat naturally. Alright, enjoy, cheers. Check out these scallions. We also plant different types of beans. This is a species called Carotte. It's a black bean. It's a variety that grows really well here. Very special. These are common beans. It's a variety that does grow really well here in this climate. And we can also include Alright, as a cereal, we can't have corn absent here. We're constantly growing corn here, and we really love those crops. Soy is one of those legumes we all know about. It is a variety of a black soy which grows very well in this special climate here. We also have tomatoes here. We got a medium cherry variety, super special. Here we conclude the tour of the Garden of Jerusalem. In addition to the products that we have shown you, there are others that, because of the time we had, we couldn't include. But in Jerusalem, by the goodness of God, we developed approximately 70% of the food that the family demands here. So it is a great blessing that has allowed us to grow here in Jerusalem. Life in the countryside is a beautiful thing. Here in the rural area, there's abundance of health, food, there's fresh air, pure and clean water, there's a friendly environment for the development of our children, and the best environment to fulfill the purposes of God in our life. The country life is worth living. Well, we hope that the experience we live here in Jerusalem will also motivate you to undertake and give you enough encouragement to undertake this project and these challenges. Jerusalem is a dream came true for us, and it's a reality for us, and can be for you, for every family. We invite you to put on your boots and live, enjoy, and live in the country.